Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your good friend North Sentinel Island, and here we are again, playing this horrible game called Hearts of Iron 4 as Democratic Germany. And I'm doing this because I have nothing better to do except humiliate myself on, YouTube and all these things, and I'm doing this for no other purpose than to make you feel marginally better about yourselves. So here we are right now. We took over Luxembourg and Belgium, and we're waiting to get a war against France. And then after we get a war declaration against France, we're going to get one against Switzerland and destroy this little ugly pimple off the face of the earth. Otherwise things are going good. As we see here, Britain and the Soviet Union are going at it. Soviet Union's getting only 150,000. That's like nothing. But still, my props go, at least you're getting some sort of bloodening, which is good. If they're getting bled somewhere, they're not getting, pretty much what happens is the Soviet Union gets bored, and they're not getting bloodied enough. There's always that chance, that they might come over and say hi to me, and I don't want them to say hi to me. So for that situation, I'm kind of happy and content that they're being shot by the Britons right now. And then, at the same time, too, I'm taking over, nations left, right, and center. So I'm kind of happy that Britain is, being, distracted. Which is all good. I'm not going to build another heavy cruiser because I'm going to be getting a new one soon. So I'm thinking we just go ahead and do some sort of... build a destroyer. This one will be ready in, January? I'm getting kind of anal right now about this, but... it's not that bad of a navy. And I think, an extra destroyer might be a good fit for it. We have a bunch of extra radars being built. I might actually build some in near the Soviet Union in a little bit, but we always need military factories. And we have this war goal against the Netherlands, which we can't do jack shit about until because Britain's claiming them. And unfortunately, I can't do anything until Britain unguarantees them, which I don't know if they can or not. Because I would really wish they could, unguarantee them, so... there isn't really any way for me to unguarantee them. Which I want them to do, because if they did that, then... I could do things, and that would be good. What the hell is this? Yes. Okay. So... that's a shame. The United States could, walk around and hang out inside of the United Kingdom if I want. Which concerns me, because I don't want them to. If I have any choice, the United States will just stay a long ways away, and they would never come near me. And, I think that's a good thing, if you're a democratic Germany. It's usually good if you're a democratic Germany not to have, and you try to take over the world. It's good let the United States just sleep over there. If they want to fight the Soviet Union or Japan, that would be a good thing if they did. Right now we have a lot of these You know, the funny thing is that I actually think I outnumber the French a lot. So if I don't want to say don't want to jump the gun with these guys, but I'm almost thinking if I take one of those armies off that are just girding the border here. But ultimately, I was going to use those units to invade Switzerland and ultimately lead like what you'll call like a southern assault up this way. Take Troyes, Dijon, Biscanon, Orléans. You know, we could ultimately have like these ration dashing people going down there. Somebody just because I have all my motorized units up near Belgium. I think that might actually be good, which is a good place because it's nothing but plains here. Plains, 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 and forest plains. You know, and ultimately, they could beat them to the punch and just rush down because that's the goal of. Yeah, as you see, we're not even close to the Carabiners. Pretty much this was just like exact same thing as their service rifle during World War I, except they made it Uzi Watts, that carbine just for. Because slowly, you know, it took them a while to realize it, but slowly people got to the realization that for the most part, the vast majority of combats were within 300 meters, so there wasn't really any point in a rifle that could kill someone a mile away if there was, you know, especially if you don't have any sights or any ability whatsoever to aim the said rifle. Because, you know, for the most part, if you don't have appropriate sights, there's no point in just shooting the rifle because you have an idea that there might be like an enemy a mile away somewhere. That's, of course, if you know where the enemy is, which most often at times you don't. So they just realized it just makes sense to have a smaller cartridge. So that way the armies the soldier can literally just carry that many more bullets with them and be that much more effective in war. So for that aspect, it made sense to have a carbine. You know, as you see it now, we did it with the M16. You know, slowly, if you just look up like service rifles in America throughout history, you realize that they just get weaker over time. Which makes sense if you have no need for a large assault rifle. And right now, I don't think I have a need for two armies on my Soviet border, which is nothing going on. And I might be better off doing something in other areas, such as this problem I'm having with my friends over here in Frankreich. Because, as you know, I don't know what they're up to, but I'm assuming it's not good at all. 34 days we could make the Eugen. Sonderkraft Fahrzeug special powered vehicle. I think we talked about that yesterday when I was trying to figure out what the hell that meant. It's going to take forever to build 23, 6, like, that's just a waste. I'm thinking he just built a frickin' sub 7C. That's my special one. And this will be ready on literally on New Year's Day. Which will be okay, because you're going to be built on it. You're just going to be done like any day now, too. and you're going to be following them. Like this first one to Leipzig, which is obviously going to be shutting down. And ideally, if worst comes to worst, we could build some convoys for a couple days until it's time just to begin building some sort of heavy cruiser. I guess it's better than nothing. Obviously you would like an army with a lot of battleships, a lot of heavy cruisers, a lot of aircraft carriers, a lot of this, a lot of that. As Germany, we have to prioritize, and our army is ultimately what I'm going to be using. Frontline. Have fun over in frickin' Switzerland. There's fights. There we are. Have fun. That's where you're going. And bring some winter weather clothes with you, because I heard it gets cold over there at that time of the year. Thank you. As you notice here, that one sub just got built. And there's a lot of days to go until the Eugen gets ready. And I'm just going to build another frickin' 7C. Which is good. I mean, if you're in Germany, you have to build submarines and you have to do unprovoked attacks against other nations' merchant shipping. If you're Germany during a world war, that's what you do. If you want to save 10% on your auto insurance, you switch to Geico or something. I mean, I wonder if they would be able to. Kurt Student is also going over here because you're also going to be in charge of this border over here, and obviously you're going to be part of this Switzerland thing. Because I'm thinking having 2-foot armies just bashing right into the soft underbelly of France when that war ultimately comes. That should put them down. They want to invest in. See, plus you're stuck with that much manpower. They're also limited to conscription, and they can't really do much because remember, we got a lot of army experience with all these wars that we've been into. Poor France hasn't been in any wars, so they don't have any experience. So I'm thinking we're doing okay. If we could get the fog thrower. What exactly is the point of a Nebelwerfer? Really wish I had the opportunity to. And I'm coming to the conclusion after I'm done with this series, I'm just going to go ahead and spend money. And, just buy the DLC so that way I can videotape myself playing games that matter. Or, move on from a cheapskate mod. I'm thinking about up-to-date field hospitals. I mean, because we're slowly going to be in that situation where we have to worry about we're not barefoot. Yeah, that's good. 5% defense. We need all the defense we could get. Because as you have guessed, Germany ultimately, they're not based on the Navy, it's based on the grunt and the ability of their grunt to be superior to other armies' grunts. I mean, because with our fearless leader, Konrad Adenauer. This is just, even if you read about him, he's, I guess, you have to just admit it. If you're, really mean it's, I don't know, like, if we could pick a different person in 1942. I mean, this guy, Kurt Schumacher, pretty much if you have one arm and your other arm was blown off, like in a war, and then he spent 10 years in a concentration camp. I really believe you deserve to be, like, chancellor of your country, when it becomes democratic. And if you don't believe that, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but I think you're wrong. Yeah, 4 more days. We got 4 more days. Then I can fabricate against Switzerland, which ultimately is going to make things a little bit more interesting, to say the least. And then it will help us begin our campaign to ultimately I don't know a better way. Like, I think I promised that I had these things memorized by now for you guys. Medium tanks, 300. We really have to save up for these medium tanks. Because we need all the medium tanks that we can get into these divisions just to... I mean, obviously it seems like, at least when it comes to our motorized forces, we're going to be a little bit more light and motorized, which is actually probably a good thing. Good, we got our justification against France. As I think I mentioned, I'm just going to be sitting on it for a little bit. Because we're changing things and declaring war and fabricating against my enemies over in Switzerland. Because I think that's ultimately going to be... Get annex goal against Switzerland. Operation Tannenbaum. It'll be like the beginning of February, which is not going to be like the ideal weather, but we kind of have to do what we have to do, I just want to make sure these guys aren't facing any sort of attrition down here. Yeah, see, they're cold acclimated. That's good. And if they're not getting cold acclimated now, they're going to be getting that fairly soon, because it's going to be a while until they get nice and comfortable. Because it's going to be cold down there, which I want them to be. It's just going to be a couple days until 8 days. Destroyers, some 7 Seas, and some more 7 Seas. I'm almost thinking if we just rush a destroyer during this time, which we obviously can't. But at the same time, yeah, you're just going to be building the Prince Eugen when that submarine's done. Because otherwise we're just going to have that, like, that one extra. And you guys could just go and... Actually, no. There we go. Yeah, everything's fine for now. It is what it is, but at the same time, you know what? Let's just build these frickin' convoys. It'll be a couple days until you get done, and that's probably ultimately the best thing, because we only have 357 of them, because we keep sending stuff down to our new colonies down in Belgium. Yep, our resistance is going down. We don't have any in Burundi. And apparently we might not have any in Poland. But, you know, we're going to get some in Poland if we lack off a little bit. So just unfortunately, probably for the rest of the war, it just makes sense to, you know, they have garrison forces. We had 239,000 free troops. I don't really want to be going through all of them, but as soon as we go to war against France, we could click that button and go up to war conscription. The good thing, of course, is that we'll if it comes to an attrition battle, if France is fighting by herself along with, obviously Yugoslavia, we will ultimately win. So I'm ultimately not that worried about it. How's my good friends over here doing? See, it's... The only problem, of course, is that we might have to take one of these other things over there. Just to give some sort of like a reserve for those 24 guys. Either that or make Yugoslavia sort of like a defensive front. How many men are afoot? If worse comes to worse, too, depending exactly how this war against France is going to be fought. Because, at the same time, I just don't need to see... Let me see what they have for frickin' Maginot. I like to see their fortifications so I know where to go around them. Which is a crying shame. As we know here, they had that little cutesy alliance with France, which concerns me, but nothing else. No, they got done with all those convoys already. Good for them. Those are some good convoy makers. They got done with convoys so quickly. There you go. Build some more convoys for me. Good job. Want to try to help me out against Yugoslavia? How come you don't like me? Come on, Benito. How come we're not friends? You wanna be friends, Benito? You should make friends. Let's be friends with Benito. You know, if you have a choice of being friends with Benito and not being friends with Benito, it makes sense, friends, to be friends with Benito. Just looking this over here. Who knows? Maybe we have more men over there than they do. You know? No. You know, ultimately, the only real choice we have is just declare a war when the war begins over here to figure out. You know, obviously, it helps to give them some frickin' aircraft. Look at all these frickin' people over here. Right? You could go over here, right? There we go. There we go. Now we have a nice little... There we go. Yeah, we have 500 aircraft now. That's a lot more than they do. So I'm fairly confident. As long as we have... You know, if worst comes to worst, we definitely would be able to destroy them. See, and look at this. We're almost done with these. Which is a shame, because now we're just going to be... Un café, una casa te, zuckerlun café, and the glacian vine, und the glacian vine. Alright, instead of an Opalville, you're gonna have this little thing. Right? There we go. Have fun. Mech equipment. Wait a minute. I don't want mech equipment. So wait a minute, we decided to keep doing opals and wasting like... Ah, oh, bloody hell. Doesn't that suck? We have to begin saving up for mechs now too. So you want to build some more mechs? Which makes sense. I mean, I am upset that I just destroyed all. I mean, but once again, I never really consider myself to be a great businessman. Even though this game isn't really a business, it just involves clicking. Alright. So, we have a lot. Alright. There we go. Now I want line of opals. Kind of like what we had. Good. Good. So we have some opals being built. I'll just pause the recording for a second.